Most of the things that we use today are mass-produced in a factory somewhere at lightning speeds or created by AI. I want to slow that down and start building things the way they were made for hundreds of years, using wood, iron, leather, and our hands. So the question is, what can we build together? If you've been watching this channel, you know I've been working on my Ram ProMaster conversion van, and it's sitting right over there. We've gone off and had a couple of good journeys on it out to Zion and traveling a lot, and I hope you've gotten to watch us build that van. If not, definitely check out the playlist for that because it was a lot of fun, and I actually used a lot of what I learned from this stuff. So 20 years ago, I was a museum technician at a historic site here on the Outer Banks. I look back at it very fondly. It was a great time. I learned so much. Basically, I got paid to learn how to play and do all of these different tools that you see in front of me. When I was there, I got to do some leather working, making things like tankards or making canteens and stuff. I even made shoes while I was there, made a pair of boots that came up to here. Then also I got trained, went to a training with Roy Underhill, if you know him, the Woodwright shop. He taught us how to make adobo. This one I actually made later. This wasn't one I did at his school, but later a hurricane came through the Outer Banks and I took the opportunity to make adobo. If you've been watching my channel at all, you know that history and DIY are big on this channel, and they're some of my more popular videos. Now we're just combining them. And now that the van is done, I'm hoping to bring you to even more historic sites where we can look at history and see how it comes alive. So now I want to take you up a little bit closer to see some of those things that are on this table. We do have my fire starting kit, flint and steel, and some char cloth there. I do have a video on fire starting if you want to check that out and learn more about how to start a fire that way. I have a number of different draw knives, spoke shaves, and then assorted chisels. My drill, it's a cordless drill if you didn't know. I have a number of different planes. I didn't bring them all out here, but I've got modern ones. This is a reproduction that I found. I have older ones, and then I even have, I gotta clean these up, but I have some that I had made. That's a router, in case you didn't know. And then, like we said, at the forge we can do things like make some forks or knives or any other things. And then we do have that spring pole lathe. Made this a while ago with my son. It is a lot of fun, but you gotta make sure that you switch legs because you have to depress a pedal. If you don't switch legs, you can only go around in circles, which is what a lathe does. So now let's get up close and personal with some of these things that I've made. Like I said, this chest here, I made all the hardware, and then I also built the chest. This chest down here, I did all the carving on it. This was a while ago. The trestle table I made a long time ago, and I really would like to build another one of those. It was a fun project. Let me know if you're interested in that. A little tavern table here. And this chair, it's a fold stool that folds up. I want to make a couple different variations of that, so definitely stay tuned for that video or those videos if I decide to make more than one. Some of this I'll use modern wood, but then also we may try our hand at doing some green woodworking. Green woodworking is always easier on the hand tools than this modern kiln dried stuff. Right now you can see our forge area is a bit of a mess. We will get that organized, but you can see we do have a gas forge as well as a coal forge, so we can have a lot of fun on that. But the first thing I'm going to need to do is actually build a tarp to go over this so that I can work on my projects outside. So that will be one of our first projects, is getting some kind of cover over this. It'll probably be just an awning kind of thing, just like I would have had at the settlement site that I used to work at. And then we'll get the shaving horse built and maybe a workbench. And then after that, we can start getting down to work. Now, in addition to all of the hand tools, I do have a modern workshop where I have table saw, drill press, miter saw, all different kinds of tools. But I will always tell you if I'm going to go use those tools. I'll show you me using those tools. I'm not just going to suddenly go off screen, come back with something that looks perfect. If I'm going to use the scroll saw, I'll tell you I'm using the scroll saw as opposed to using a hand saw. I want to be 100% transparent in all of this. So there shouldn't be the magic happened and everything looks perfect. It should be, if there's a mess up, you're going to see the mess up. You're going to call me out on the mess up. I'm going to call myself out on the mess up, and we'll figure out how to fix it. But I'm not just going to pretend it never happened. So I think what I'd like to do is go on a field trip. We can head over to that historic site I was telling you about. It's the home place of the Elizabeth II. I made stuff that went on the ship as well as the settlement site. So let's go check it out. I can point out some of those things that I made, and we can see if they're still holding up after 20-something years of not being there. The historic site I worked at was the home port for the Elizabeth II, a 16th century sailing ship. I was fortunate enough to sail on it many times. I made several of these wooden benches you'll find on the ship. Walking down this path is like going back in history, not to the 16th century, but to a previous life for me. I think this would be about the perfect size workshop for me to get some cool projects done. You can see a cool table I made off in the distance. And my old workbench is still there. When I visit, one of my favorite things to see is the blacksmith shop I helped build. As I mentioned, it was over 20 years ago. Man, I wish I could grow my hair out like that again. I'm not going to show you everything I made, but let's see what's still here. It was a lot of fun learning to forge in this shop. Yep, that's my old rope bed. It doesn't look any more comfortable. And over here we can see another dough bowl I made. That's the one I made at Roy Underhill's class. I was able to use that same process to build this yoke to go get water. This is another trestle table I built. As I said, we'll build another one of those on the channel. Now let's get going and start thinking about some new projects to make. I have these books by Roy Underhill with tons of projects in them, as well as this book on medieval furniture. I get so inspired when I thumb through these books. It's so hard just to choose one to get started on, but we're gonna have to do it, so stay tuned to resist the grind. And if you're really itching to find out what we're going to make, here's a hint. I really hope you'll join me on this journey in traditional woodworking.